Hello.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a spotlight on Oddworld New and Tasty. If you're not familiar with this, it came out several months ago for the PS4 and is just now coming out to PC. They finally ported it over. If you're not familiar with it at all, this is a remake, a complete remake of the old Oddworld's Abe's Oddysee. This is an interesting transition. It's very, very different. Very different. If you've played the old Oddworld, and I'm gonna overlay a image of its original menu, things have changed greatly. So they've kept a lot of the spirit of it, but they've changed it from being a 2D to being a 3D game. Full 3D engine, everything has changed. It's now a very lovely game. It really is. And it actually gets a better frame rate. The old Oddworld, old Abe's Oddysee, I would get about 36, 37 frames per second. I'm not sure why. That's all I would get. Whereas with this, I get 80. And I don't have a beefy machine. I literally have the minimum system requirements for this machine. Or not minimum, the recommended system requirements for this machine. Except I have more RAM and obviously much, much more hard drive space. So anyway, let's hop in here and talk about what we've got. This is going to be more of a port review. If you want more of a review of the gameplay, I'm kind of going to suggest you go check out the reviews for the PS4 version, because to me, they're the same. They really are. So things are a little different. There's a few quirks with this, especially when it comes down to the keyboard and some controllers, but we'll get to that. Let's hop into the settings here. Audio, not much to speak of. You've got audio sliders. Really nice to see this. You got your master and then individual audio sliders for your sound, music, and voice, and subtitles in the audio menu where they belong. Not in their gameplay, because subtitles is not a gameplay thing. Whatever. Anyway, so nice to see that they've got that. Graphics options, it'd be nice to see a few more, or at least a little bit more information on here, like anti-aliasing, what type, what level, what are we doing? Like, it's just a bar. What is this? What does this tell me? It tells me that there's a purple bar underneath anti-aliasing. It doesn't give me any information. I'm assuming it's 16 times FXAA. That's my assumption. I have nothing to back that up. I really don't. But I think it's a safe assumption, considering MSAA and the other ones, all the other billions of AAs out there, usually cause a little bit more frame rate hit than what I'm seeing here. It's either that or it's heavily optimized. I don't know. Shadow quality? What? What quality? Like, these ones are, I guess I'm okay with to a point, because texture and shadow quality we normally get low, high, medium, ultra, god level, bacon, whatever. So a basic slider with 4 or 5 settings, I guess I can tolerate that. Anisotropic filtering, again, what level? Is it 8 times? 2 times? Is it bacon times? I'm using bacon a lot. I don't know why. Probably because it's got me thinking of meat. I love meat. Meat. Anyway, so quality settings, pretty cool. Pretty okay. You've got full screen, VSync, gamma controls, which are nice for if you've got a really dark monitor. I know some people do. I used to have a really dark monitor, and, well, then I realized it was dead because, well, it stopped working. But that's neither here nor there. And you've got resolution options in a handy dandy drop down menu. Thank you. None of this fucking scrolling shit. Nothing pisses me off more than starting up a game and having it start in frickin' 640 by 480 because, you know, that resolution's actually a thing still. Who runs at 640 by 480 in a modern game on a modern system? I don't even run old shit at that low resolution. I scale it. Or I run it in window mode. That's just ridiculous. So why would you launch at that? And then I have to go through to 1080 using a button that I have to click a billion times. So thank you for this. This is great. I approve of that. I'm not sure if this is polling my video card for what it can do, or if it's literally just hard-coded in here. I'm really not sure. I haven't tested it that thoroughly. I'd have to try it on my laptop and see if it shows beyond 1366. Because that's what my laptop can do. That's the max. That's it. It's also, you know, that's 16 by 10 widescreen, so yeah, right. Anyway, let's head back and let's head into the bane of my existence, the controls. So on the main screen, you have to select your input method, whether you're going to do controller or keyboard. You have to select this. If you don't, and say it's on controller and you want to use keyboard, well, you can't, and you cannot change it in game. Like with controller, I can't even hit escape. It just blocks the keyboard out. It's like the keyboard doesn't exist. It just plays like the console version. There is no keyboard. A keyboard no exist. No lemon pledge. Vibration, on or off. Fucking hate vibration. I really hate vibration. Co-op mode, haven't tried that. This seems like it could be an interesting thing, and I may try to convince someone to maybe give this a whirl with me, but haven't been able to as of yet. So let's go into the wonderful key rebinding. So here's your key bindings. I'm going to apparently go back. I'm going to hit the restore defaults because I've changed the bindings, and let's see if we can spot the problems. Well, the first one that I noticed was the aim up, aim down. Okay, not super critical. You know, up and down arrow, which are the same with your game speak. Now, I think that these are actually maybe conflicting at times. I'm not sure, because sometimes when you hit the button, it doesn't actually do it. So I'm not sure if that's the game just forgetting to pull the keyboard for input, or what's going on with it, but it's frustrating as hell. And if you want to quickly aim up or down, you can't. You do have the aim throw, which is F, and then you have to hit R to throw. My fingers don't bend that way, especially if I have to hit something else, which luckily you can't be moving when you're aiming. So yeah, you're kind of out of that one. You've also got this sneak, which is also slig shoot. Like, seriously, were there not enough keys on the keyboard? This is my question. Were there not enough keys? Could you not figure this out? Also, one thing that I'm noticing is there's an aim up and aim down, but there's no aim left or aim right. Why is there no aim left or aim right? Like, distinctive things that are missing. Okay, well, I am going to rebind these to page up and page down. Not that I'm using a keyboard, but I'm going to do that. Because when I do use a keyboard, I would like to be able to use those. So, controller layout. This one pisses me off. No rebinding. If you do not have an official Xbox 360 controller from Microsoft, or presumably a PS4 controller, you're fucked. You cannot change it. If you don't like that jump is your Y button and you want it to be your A button, you're fucked. If you are me and you don't have, well, I have, and I've actually got it connected right now, my wireless Xbox controller, but I don't use that because it's old and clunky and just a pain in the ass to use and requires batteries, because fuck batteries. I have my G310, which is a wired Logitech controller that supports both direct input and X input. X input is the one that Microsoft made for the Xbox, more specifically the Xbox 360 controller. Every game that I play detects it as an Xbox 360 controller. Sometimes it'll detect it as well as the direct input controller, and they'll use the direct input controller versus the X input. But the direct input one, unless I have the switch at the back set to direct input, is just a dummy device. It doesn't actually do anything. So generally it's fairly telltale sign. With my Logitech one, the right stick doesn't work. The D-pad does wrong things. Best I've been able to do is I can get the up and down to do aim down and up. So if you press down, you're aiming up. If you press up, you're aiming down. You cannot use the GameSpeak commands at all. Left stick works, sneak is correct. The chant I finally got working correctly. Originally, they were on the pause and back. I had to hold pause and back. The back key has never worked as a quick save, quick load. Still doesn't. Throw button and sneak button have been correct pretty much the whole time. Alternate game speak, I have no idea because the D-pad doesn't work. I can't throw anything because the throw doesn't work. And the keys originally were actually rotated to the right by one. So show health was Y. X was crouch. A was use, and B was jump. So it's just all cocked up. Not the case with the official Xbox controller. That works flawlessly. I really seriously don't know how they could have cocked that up. I don't understand how that can be so screwed up. But it is. So if you don't have an official controller, you're pretty much fucked. That's pretty much it. Keyboard controls I found to be kind of hit or miss. There's certain points where if you're ducking behind cover, you go to roll with a controller, if you move it just slightly, you will kind of wiggle. You won't roll. I'll show that when I get in. So let's hop in here. So we're gonna start a new game. So we're gonna see the fully remastered cutscenes. And what I might do is I might do kind of a split screen showing the old cutscene at that portion and the new one. Maybe. I don't know. Depends on how I feel during editing. I have it all. So we'll see. So we're just going to do normal difficulty and single player.
Follow me.
We will follow you, sir.
This is Rupture Farms. They say it's the biggest meat processing plant on Oddworld. I used to work here. Well, I was really a slave, like all the others. That's me. My name is Abe. I was Employee of the Year. Now I'm dead meat. I crossed the meanest boss in the world. Mullet the Gluckin. My whole life changed in just one day. I was working late one night at Rupture Farms. We used to make beach munchies. Until the beaches were through. We still made pearmite pies. And we made some good scram cakes, too. I thought I had a good job, but that was before I knew how we'd make new and tasty. I was still to find. The truth, it turned out. Now that would blow my mind. The Gluckins were scared because profits were grim.
How the hell we gotta get out of this one?
Termites and scrabs had been turning up thin.
As you can see, things are going down. What? My God, Mullet, what are you gonna do about it, huh? Watch.
But Mullet was cool.
Show it.
All right, boss. He had a plan.
How?
This new kind of meat?
Well, we look at our estimates.
It was us.
We got a lot of good luck. We'll chop them
I just had to escape. I just had to be free. I didn't even know I had a destiny. So, get me out of here!
So, that was the intro movie. A whole lot different from the original. Well, a whole lot clearer. And now, right now, this was, again, a video in the original, whereas now, this is actual in-game graphics. And, of course, this is the beginning, so it's just going to teach us all our commands, everything we need to do. And you'll see here, this is a huge difference. Is that bomb going to come close to me? Or is it just going to hover there? Cool. So, this is a huge difference. You can see the camera angle is different. If you played the original Abe's Oddysee, the camera was directly on him. It was just sideways. You could pretty much see the whole level. And I'm pretty much just kind of standing in this guy. So, yeah, a lot different. They're using a lot of the 3D effects, and they're using it quite well. And I'm just gonna take control of this guy. Die, you bastard! This is something that I didn't know you could do originally, and yeah, now I know. So I will kill them all. Oop, wrong button. I will forever hit A to go through those. I don't know why. It's just It's kind of my thing. But they're using a lot of the parallax effect. They're using a lot of the depth really, really well in the 3D version of things. There's also this directory, which I don't recall seeing, and I've been farther than this in the original. So I don't recall seeing it, but you've got your employee counter, which is quite cool. And then... Oh, god damn it. Dear. So, issue that I have with where I was mentioning the controls for when you're ducked. So right now I'm using a controller and I'm kind of squeaking forward. Whereas this is probably the worst place to show it because I don't want to wake this guy up. You'll also, if you're familiar, this is where it did a scene transition to the next area. There's also this. He won't jump. I'm sneaking. He won't jump down. But this is again not a good place to do this. Let's deal with this. I guess I could just blow his ass up. Or I guess it's his head, but let's do this. We're gonna blow him up, and I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about before we proceed any further. Oh, you're not gonna. Yeah, you run. You run, loser. And boom. So the larger levels allow you to do different things as well. Like, assuming, I never tried it in the old one, but when you take control of one of those guards, I'm assuming you have to stay within the transition area. You can't go to different areas of the level where they require loading. Where here, you can. So anyway, the whole rolling thing. So on the keyboard, no matter what, you're doing this. This is what you do, whether you're using the sprint key or not. Now, I haven't tried the sneak key. The sneak key forces you. Like, I've got the stick all the way over, and I am doing this. Whereas I could do that with just a little bit of movement on the controller. Whereas on PC, this is your normal movement when you're using WASD, you have to hold shift in order to run. Another thing that I'm not a fan of is this. Like, let's go back up there. And I'll run. Oh, now he's gonna fall off? Quite often, what happens here is he will do. Seriously, you're not gonna do that. He'll do that several times, and then fall off, and it's really annoying.
Hello. Follow me.
Okay.
We're gonna get you.
I'm doing all this work and I haven't even been paid yet.
And we're not going to wake this guy. I always end up waking him in the old one. Always.
Follow me.
Okay.
Alright, let's send these guys home. So, for the most part, this is all the same. It's just, instead of going through like 5 different transitions, we've gone through, well, none. It's really what that boils down to. So it's a lot cleaner, it's a lot nicer. I honestly think that this is going to last a lot longer than the original one without getting hideous. Alright, so this is all this.
Everybody, follow me.
Okay.
Come along, kids.
Hi. Follow me.
Okay.
And get you guys out. So, I don't know if rescuing them does a whole lot. Like, does it really help you achieve anything? Or what? Oh. It's just... So you run across things like this, where what'll happen is if I try to chant, that thing will zap me. They're all over the place. But it did indeed help me, because it made him run to where I wanted him to go.
Hey there. Follow me. Follow me.
Okay.
Come on, kids. Oh,
Follow you.
Hello there. Okay, sure.
so these guys will not jump. They will only move, and they'll follow me right into that. So in this particular case, I can take control over him, kill his buddy, and blow him up. That is not actually how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to use this lever and, drop them, but screw that. I've got a much easier way of doing this.
Hello, everybody. Follow me.
Okay.
Much easier way. There are points in the game where, for example, there's these well things. When you finally get out of Rupture Farms... Oh, actually, this here. With the keyboard, this is a pain in the ass. Just doing that. What I did there was I ran to the right and pressed B. B ducks. And this is where, if you're using a keyboard, you will always go full speed. And you don't actually want to do that. And boom.
Hello, follow me.
Hello. Okay.
So now I can save my buddies. And they will mimic you. They have no problem mimicking you, except when you want them to jump. So, it's really quite good. Damn it. That was stupid. Now, I can blow them up, but I can also make them fall. I blow them up because it takes a lot longer for them to fall and die.
Hi, follow me.
Is it break time?
It's just kind of my thing. I find the game to be very, 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 very slow. Like, very slow. All the movement, everything is quite slow. But that's by design.
Howdy. Follow me.
Come along. Let's actually get you as well.
Hello, follow me.
And send you guys home. Oop. Sometimes getting the location correct is difficult. This is where you want to use the quick save option. Oh, nice. Got it in one.
Hello, follow me.
Okay. Okay.
Follow you. Follow me.
Okay.
Alright, can I... Is there more guys here? I can't remember a lot of this. Whee! Send these guys home. Up. So, yeah. I think all in all it's pretty good. If they fix some of the control issues,
Work all day.
I think it'll go a lot nicer.
Climbing that janitorial ladder.
Go! There we go. Get out!
Sweet freedom.
Yeah, I feel like they've done a pretty good job. Aww. I feel like they've done a really good job with this. I really do. Go! Yeah, that's right. It's very, very true to the original, but they've fixed a lot of the issues with it. They've done a really good job here. And their use of the 3D engine, I think, is just amazing. Like, they changed the orientation of the camera, like right there, you see how it kind of goes up a little. And then I explode. So, yeah, I feel like they've done a very nice job. I approve.
Hey, follow me.
Okay.
Let's get going.
Okay.
Alright, and let's see if I can do this without...
Work all day. Work
Come on! Ah! Oh, yeah, don't do that.
or die.
Follow me. Oh, yeah. Follow me.
Coming.
Oh well. Such is life. We lost one. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. So anyway, that is Oddworld. New and tasty. Same thing as Oddworld Abe's Oddysee, only a little better. With some kind of fucked up controls a little. Hopefully some patches come out that fix the control issues. And figure out, well, what caused them. But other than that, it's well worth the $20. I think this has to be probably the best remake I've seen ever. A lot of what we're seeing lately is remasters, little HD polishes on things, versus what this is a remake. It's a whole nother game. It's a whole new game based on and containing the full story of another game. I think they did a really good job. They kept true to the original, and we'll just leave it at they've done a good job. They really have. Not a whole lot to complain about, to be honest. So, anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time.